So many women always ask me about how can you succeed being a CEO, being a wife, and a mom, all in one. So I'm going to tell you my little secret, the way that I did it. It wasn't easy, and it's still not easy, but it's the way that I was able to be successful on all three, which they're very important in all of our lives. So number one, I created a daily schedule. Always, Bobby's the one that taught me this, and I always fought him at the very beginning, and every time I failed at it, he would keep on back on me and tell me, did you do your to-do list today? Did you write it down? I was like, no, I didn't. And I would always fail that day because I didn't have my to-do list or create my schedule for the day. So very, very important that you map out your day. So let's say that you are a CEO of a company, or you work for somebody, or you are your own entrepreneur and you have real estate investments, whatever it is. You need to make sure that you say, okay, first thing in the morning, for me, I'll give you my schedule. I have my workout at 7 to 8 a.m. 8 to 9, I am doing wellness. I do red light therapy. I go into a sauna. I take care of myself so that I can have all the energy to be able to hit the day with full potential and make sure that my day is going to be extremely productive and successful. After that, my day gets created with my work schedule. So depending on what that week is all about work. Then come around 5, 6 o'clock, right now it's my grandkids. Before it used to be my kids. I put family time. That's very important for me. After that, it's Bobby and my time. So we choose to have dinner together, have our date night, watch a movie, talk about business, talk about vacation, whatever it is. But that is my full day. And every single morning, I wake up and I make sure that my daily schedule is on my calendar, especially on my phone, so that I can make sure that I don't miss out on anything that I need to do for that day. And that works out beautiful for me. I'm sure if you try it, you're going to love the results. So I'm going to give you some tips that worked for me back when I used to work at the medical field, that I was in ultrasound tech. I used to work all day long, be exhausted, have a bad day, good days, whatever it was. And when I got home, I had to cook, clean, make sure that the kids were bathed, their homework, all that stuff. And it becomes very overwhelming. So what I want to tell you is that when you get home, try to either meditate for 5 minutes and let go of everything that happened in the day. When you get home, come in with that mindset of being a mom, a wife, and enjoy the moment. If you have to cook, bring in the kids with you, have them help you. Cook together, bring in your husband, whatever it is, but make it joyful so that you're not stressed out, not enjoying that day when you get home from work. So really enjoy it. Try to be mindful, try to be there, try to be in the moment and make it work for whatever it is. If it's too much and you see that you've tried it and it doesn't work out, try to delegate some of that work. Bring in a housekeeper that can help you clean the house, or maybe help with the kids of getting your in-laws, your mother, anybody, a babysitter, that when you get home, they can help you a little bit with the kids. Don't be afraid to delegate some of the mother or wife chores, because it's okay. You don't need to be a superwoman all the time. It's okay that you come in and that somebody else is doing those chores that are really not bringing a lot of value to you or to your family. But if you enjoy it and you're just coming home stressed, try to sit back, take 5 seconds, 5 minutes, whatever it is, inhale, and take whatever chore that you're going to do with happiness, with feeling good about doing it. And you're going to see how it completely changed. But don't be a superwoman if you don't have to. So identifying priorities is very, very important as a entrepreneur, as an employee, as a wife, as a mother, because especially when you're playing all of the roles, you got to make sure that you understand what are your main priorities, especially for the day. When when we talked about creating that schedule, it's so important that you prioritize, because sometimes you want to do it all. And at the end of the day, when you go back, you're like, I didn't do anything, because you wanted to do it all. And you did a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there, and nothing got done. And I am guilty of that all the way. I used to do it all the time, because as a working mom, a wife, you have to do it all. So make sure you prioritize, especially with your children, because your children will pull you. Mom, I want to go to the park. Mom, I want to go to a party. Mom, I want to go to my friend's house. I'm bored. I want to do this. Well, guess what? You can't do it all. So prioritizing, letting them know today we only have time to do one of these. So we're going to pick one. At work, you also have to prioritize. If you're a business owner, you're going to be pulled from every direction. Everybody's going to want your attention, and you're not going to be able to do what you need to get done in order for that business to be able to be successful, to scale it, whatever it is. And as a wife, also, Bobby, very needy husband. I love him to death, but I'm sure many husbands out there are the same. Oh, babe, can you do this for me? Oh, I really want this. Oh, can you come with me to do this? Can you do? And we're, as women, we do this too to them, but I'm talking about us right now, not them. So you need to prioritize on all of your arenas. What is priority for the day? So when you do that daily schedule, you make sure that you are doing it as it is in the order of priority. And don't let your children, your husband, your employees pull you from those priorities that you know that are going to be productive and that it's going to bring value to yourself and to your family and to the business. Communicating and collaborating with effectiveness with your team, your family, your husband, is extremely important. And there's 3 pillars that I'm always talking about. And that is communicating the good, the bad, the wants, the needs. Super important. Communication's not always going to be nice. It's not going to always be pretty. It's not going to always be happy. But it's something that is so needed in order to be able to be successful in your family life, in your relationship, and in your business. So communicate, communicate, communicate. The other one is compromising. Compromising is something that is sometimes difficult. And I don't want you to confuse compromising with sacrifice, because it's 2 different things. Compromising is that we communicated something that you want, you need, something that it's needed, and that you both, whether it's your husband, your children, or your partners at work, that you are balancing that communication in order for you both to be able to get something out of that. Because if you communicate and you don't compromise on the communication, because when you do that with either of the 3, your partners at work, your husband, or your children, it's not always going to be, oh yeah, we're all agreeing to this communication. No, it's going to always be like, well, I don't really like doing it this way. I like doing it that way. And then you come around and you say, no, but this is the way I think it should be. So the compromising is huge in order to be able to get that communication, to be able to go forward with it. And then the third one is romance And of course, you can't be romantic with your partners at work. So I say edifying is my romance at work. So, you want to make sure that you always, with your husband, that you have time to be romantic, to tell each other how proud you are of each other, how much I love you. Any little thing that makes that relationship staying sizzled, because especially like me and Bobby, we've been together for 33 years. It kind of gets dull, boring, routine. So if you don't keep that romance, that relationship could just break. With your children, if you don't edify your children all the time and let them know, wow, what a great job you're doing, because you're always being that teacher, that mandating of, you got to do this, put away your clothes, put away the toys, make sure you do homework, you're always on them. And if you don't edify, letting them know, wow, you're doing a great job putting away your toys after you finish playing. Wow, thank you. Your room looks so clean. You're doing great at school. All of those things. Guess what? When you tell them something, they're going to do it with joy, because they know that later on you're going to edify them. So who doesn't love to be edified? At work, when you're the boss, when you're the leader, when you're the owner of that business and you have people under you, you're also always telling them how to do it, when to do it. And it also gets kind of like annoying. Like, okay, I work this way, let me be. And then that leader, that manager, the employees underneath them, they're always talking, God, he's so annoying, or she's so annoying. Oh my God, it's da. But if you tell them, you guys are doing an awesome job, thank you so much for helping me out on this task, we're doing amazing, look at the company, it's scaling because you guys are doing the work, thank you for being my partner in here. When you're going to tell them something, again, they're going to love it, they're going to want to do it, because they know that you're appreciating them. So it's very, very important. And all three pillars, communicating, compromising, romance / edifying, there's not one that's more important than the other, because without doing all three, you can't get the result that you want without them. So make sure that you implement this in your life, and you're going to see that the flourishness that you're going to get from everybody that you're dealing with. So now that we talked about being able to satisfy everybody else and being successful on trying to get your day programmed, how to deal with everyone that you're dealing with on a daily basis, how to be a CEO, how to be a wife, how to be a mom. Now, the most important is prioritizing yourself, your self-care. That's super important. And if we don't do this, the burnout is going to be huge. You're not going to be able to be that best CEO or employee leader. You can't be the best wife, and you definitely will not be the best mom. So prioritizing your self-care is super, super important. So, for example, me, I love working out. That for me is self-care. It just brings me a lot of relaxation, energy, power. I feel good. So first thing in the morning for me is self-care for me. I wake up very early. I go to the gym. I do my workout. And right after that, I go to my spa. I go into doing red light. I meditate. I listen to podcasts. I read a book. Whatever it is, that's my time. That's my self-care. Very important. It doesn't matter what the self-care is for you. Just make sure that it's one of your priorities to be able to do this. If it's once a day, 5 days a week, 7 days a week, I don't know how many days a week you need to do self-care, but make sure that it's in that schedule, that you do not let it go for no one. On the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, for me, that's self-care as well. I enjoy being out with my girlfriends, my coupled friends that we go out with, my family. I have brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews. That brings me a lot of joy being able to participate with them, going out to dinner, anything. That Saturday and Sunday, those are precious. Those are self-care for me. So everybody has different. For example, I'm going to give you one. Bobby doesn't need Saturdays and Sundays. He loves to work 7 days a week, doing research, planning for the next week, whatever it is. But that for him is self-care, not for me, right? So we compromise a lot on this. And he does come out with me, even though that sometimes he's like, I really don't feel like going out. But for me, it's self-care. Sometimes I go to my family's house and he decides not to come. And that's okay as well. So just make sure that whatever it is that makes you bring joy to you, forget about everybody else. What brings joy to you, that you get it done as many times a week that you need it. Don't forget you, because you cannot show up for everyone else if you're not completely full and joyful and energized, and that you love yourself. So this is another one that's very, very important in all three aspects of life, is delegating responsibilities. And this one really comes hard for moms. You really need to make sure that you're delegating some of the work that you need really a lot of help with. Cleaning the house, cooking, doing grocery shopping. Now we have Instacart. I don't know, there's so many things you could delegate, and that you don't need to bring everything upon your back, on your shoulder, because as a woman, for some reason, we think that we need to do it all. And especially with our kids, we think that if we don't take them to the sports, if we don't take them to their friend's house, if we don't go to the park with them, if we don't play games with them, that we're a bad mom. And that is not true, ladies. Not true at all. And I'm going to give you a perfect example for me, what I had to go through, because Bobby and I, at the beginning, we had to run this business, and we had to be there 7 days a week in order to get this business off the ground. For at least 5 to 6 years, we were grinding. So I didn't spend a lot of time with my children during the day. And I had brought in a nanny to help me with some of the chores. For sure, cleaning, washing the clothes, making sure the kids had, this, that. Little tasks that you could delegate to others. Do it when it is meaningful to bring value to your family. It's very important. Don't feel guilty. It's not something that you're doing that's going to harm your family. You're actually doing it because you're going to bring value to them. At the office, there's sometimes, and I'm going to put my sister-in-law here, Barbie Castro, under the bus. She hates to delegate. And when we work together, she can never let go of the task because she is an OCD person. Her to-do list is extremely intense. She needs to get it done because she is a very focused person. And when she says she's going to get something done, she gets it done. But she had to do it all. Finally, she's learned that delegating, it is the best thing in the world. But there's a lot of women like Barbie that don't want to delegate because they feel like they're the only one that's going to get it done right and on time. But ladies, listen to me. Make sure that when you delegate, that you're delegating to the right person. If you're delegating to the right person, that task will get done. If it doesn't get done, that person is in the wrong position. So make sure that you understand who you're delegating, and you're going to see how easy it is. As a wife, also learning how to delegate things. There's sometimes that your husband is the only one working and that you're staying at home and you're, stay-at-home mom. Well, then you need to know that you can't just delegate everything, or ask for help when it's something that you have taken on that responsibility. But if you're both working entrepreneurs or both working, at a business, that you understand what each of you are responsible for. And that way, when you are done with your day, everything on that list, everything that was priority, was able to get done so easy because everything was done at the time, the person that was supposed to do it, and the right lane that you were going on, and you were able to get your day done productive and successful. So delegating, do not be afraid of doing it. So building a support network is very, very important, satisfying, and safe place to be. When you create a network of friends, family, colleagues that are in the same situation as you, it's always so much more comfortable to be able to discuss what you're going through. What are they going through? How do they handle it? How do you handle it? And everybody talking about it. And you see that you're not the only one that's going through these issues or problems, or maybe not knowing exactly if I'm doing it right or if I'm doing it wrong. And it's always fun to be able to have a support network around you. For example, I have a lot of women that are in the real estate industry, and we always meet up, once a month, or we'll be texting or calling each other. Hey, has this ever happened to you? Or, I have this question and I didn't know exactly the way to answer it to another woman. Can you give me some advice if it's happened to you? Because it hasn't happened to me. Your family, your mom, your sister, your cousin. Hey, as a mom, I'm new mom. You have had children longer than me. All these little things are always good to be able to share with others, and that you don't feel that they're going to judge you or that they're going to laugh at you or that, any of that. So it's fun and also needed to have a supporting network around you in your same industry. And if, moms that are in the same mindset or children that are in the same age group as yours. So make sure that you surround yourself with like-minded women that could understand and be able to give you advice, and that you could give them advice as well. You're both bringing value to one another. So after all of this discussion, the one thing that I want you to take away with this is that you become the CEO of your life, because no one else can take control like you can. So I hope that all of this discussion helps you, that you're able to put value into your life. And remember, be the CEO of your life. If you liked my video and thought that my tips are gonna help you or maybe other women that you know, like the video, share it, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, if you have any other questions that you would like me to give you an answer on, make sure that you write a comment and I will answer you as soon as I can.